What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fun episode of Death Battle Cast. Ben's out sick, so I'm driving today. So, hey, I'm Chad, I'm the voice of Boomstick. Today, I am joined by Sam, Liam, and Billy. We have always a fun intro from Billy there. He rises.
Hello.
Man, I have been looking forward to doing this matchup for a long time. And I immediately called Burger King because I was just like, I don't know. I loved
Is it the Sneak King? Is that why?
No, not just that. I've always loved their advertisements, like, because they like to fuck around, but then they like can also be cool about it. Like my favorite commercial is the one where he breaks into McDonald's headquarters and like steals the recipe for like the sausage McMuffin, and then it's like not the most original idea or whatever. So they straight up just like, yeah, come on, we're copying McDonald's, we know it, so we might as well. I've always appreciated that attitude, so I've always wanted to like dig in and be like, especially because the King's been around for so long. Like, what were like the past iterations like? And so yeah, I was like,
I'm looking forward to you going deep on this.
Yeah,
that's Burger King lore. Not exactly something I know
Fascinates
very much about.
I got a message from Aaron while I was pooping, and Aaron was like, "Can you come to the meeting? Do you want to rep Ronald McDonald?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I can do that." And you called Burger King. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take Ronald McDonald."
Yeah. That's where I'm at that position where I'm just like, I know enough about Ronald McDonald that I feel like Burger King really has to do some shit here.
Yeah, we've got some fun stuff. I've got some arguments and some things.
Chad is saving the Burger King Zenkai boost for the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Exactly. All right, cool. Well, let's get right into it. And I guess since you guys want to know about the King, you want me to kick it off?
Yeah,
a little bit. Okay. Throw up that clock. And there we go. The Burger King, aka the marvelous magical Burger King, is ruler of the Burger King Kingdom, a man who dedicated his life to using his mind-blowing magical powers to supply men, women, and children all over the world with delicious food. There seems to be no limits to his magical powers: omniscience, telekinesis, flight, teleportation, size and matter manipulation, intangibility, and more. He's, of course, a master of stealth, is incredible at all sports, is proficient with pretty much any vehicle while also making that vehicle stronger with magic. He is clever and cunning, while Ronald is a little bit childish and naive, let's be real here. He's made a fool of Ronald time and time again, proving that Ronald is nothing but a jester in the King's court. I don't need the rest of the 10 seconds.
I mean, that sways me a little bit because it sounds good, but I don't know if it'll hold water.
I appreciated the outro very much there, Chad. Very, very, very good.
Thank you. I was proud of it as well. I literally started typing my first sentence, then that popped into my mind, and I just wrote the last sentence very quickly.
I had a whole bit prepared for my thing where I was going to be like pretending like I had gotten the wrong, like I had just, he researched the wrong Ronald, and it was going to be like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh.
And then the follow up, and it was going to like funny images of Cristiano Ronaldo. And then the follow up, once you guys corrected me, it was going to be like, sorry, yes, Ronald. And then I'd do like a Reagan image. And then I would do it. But I thought that was so fucking cringe. I just was like, I'm so tired that I think I'll just go straight with this one because
all right.
I don't, you don't need anything. You don't need any fucking jazz or zhuzh for this. Give me them 60 seconds. I'm going to rip this motherfucking burger fuck apart. Ronald McDonald is a clown nightmare hell beast that has been cursing the airwaves since the 50s. He can do anything. He is so incredibly fucking powerful and so fast and has just a variety of unbelievable magical abilities, as well as tons of actually very specific direct counters to the Burger King himself, as well as several different armies of helpers. He's just going to overwhelm the Burger King with pure force, pure speed, variety of abilities, and his helpers. It's kind of amazing what he can do. His variety is not something that the Burger King is going to be able to handle. I think that Ronald McDonald, unfortunately, because I prefer Burger King, has got this kind of wrapped up. That was almost a pun. That was almost like I didn't mean it. I wasn't aiming for a pun, but
like
it was
burger?
Chad, I think
it was like virgin.
Just take a
on
peek
it,
at
yeah.
Chaos Nightmare's super chat there. I feel like appropriate for you here.
Oh,
in this
okay.
particular
Fun
instance.
fact: Ronald has been dead since 2016 due to the scary clown sightings of that year. The king wins by default. There's some very fun advertisement stuff that I'll get into in here in a little bit. I'm curious. So the Burger King also has like friends, right? But like I didn't go into that too much because I figured we'd be focusing on like one-on-one. So what?
I'm
what
not
are
talking.
These
I'm not talking
summons?
Hamburglar. I'm not talking
Right.
Hamburglar. I'm not talking like Mayor McCheese. I'm talking like his shadow, which can act like independently of Ronald and interact with objects and people. He has a big robot that can fight alongside him.
Okay.
He has sentient McNuggets. He has sentient Happy Meals called the Smiles, and they're fucking scary. Yeah, stuff like that.
This is hilarious because Burger King also can first of all go into his shadow, only be his shadow, then can also come out of it, and it can act completely on its own as well.
Nice.
Which was a very fun old commercial. He also can turn humongously giant. We've seen him the size of skyscrapers. He also might be a giant robot himself, but I'll save that for a little bit later because that's a really fun thing that I found. And then also the Burger King bags are also sentient, but they just kind of talk. So there's just a lot of similarities.
How big was that, Chad? Did you mention big as skyscrapers?
Yeah, skyscraper for what we've seen him grow to. I assume he could probably do more with magic. He couldn't be larger because his hand had to fit through the window to give the woman food. And
Mike,
then,
if you could bring up image 15, it's Ronald 15. I was going to label them with
thanks
specific names.
so much for the donation there.
I labeled them with names when I was going to do the Ronaldo bit. Size matters.
I have a similar image, but it's gonna really spoil.
Is this supposed to be him?
We're not gonna spoil.
No, is this supposed to be him jumping over the moon?
This is him.
This is like a lens, a photo. This is perspective. Like
he is not like miles and miles. Like he is not between the Earth and the moon right now. He is on the moon, hopping giddily alongside
it.
And
It's
you
very
will see
like cow jumps over the moon, right? You never see the cow like proportional to the moon because that would be very unimpressive looking.
You know what? I'll rip it right now because it's like there's different stuff later, but this was one of the most surprising things I found. I had no idea. I mean, obviously, fast food franchises partner with massive media franchises all the time, and you get interesting things. Mike, will you bring up Transformer King?
Well, Mike's doing.
I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot to send these to him. Sorry, guys. One second.
While you're doing that, Chad,
I'm sure Mike is sitting there like, "What the hell are you talking?
What is he talking about?"
Negative points.
Joe Ferry asks, "Did any of you play Sneak King?" I'm pretty sure that's going to come up here later. Yes, I have played that.
I might have played it like at a friend's
best of the 3 games, actually.
Sorry about that, Mike. I'm slacking.
There were 3?
Yes, there were. There were 3.
There's a karting game, Sneak King, and then
Pocket Bike Racer.
Pocket? Well, that was the kart game.
Yeah, there's the Pocket Bike Racer, the Sneak King, and then what? I don't think there was.
Remember the last one. I distinctly remember having 3 of these stupid things someplace.
That's crazy.
There's no really big feats from Sneak King. He just sneaks around and like puts burgers in people's pockets.
Yeah, I think it's more of the
like,
gameplay that's it's entertaining.
Yeah,
it's
game. Yeah, he karate chops a tree down. That's like the biggest thing, but it's already like partially cut, so there's like nothing like crazy there.
Jonathan Avery asks, "Did we do this mashup because of ERB? I assume Epic Rap Battles." This seemed like
what was
the genesis for this?
Do you think Burger King beat Ronald in the Epic Rap Battle? But I think Wendy. Actually, no. They framed Wendy as the one that comes in and owns them, but her burns are fucking lame as fuck. I think Burger King did the best out of 3 of those.
I'll tell you what, but while Mike's getting those images, since I totally last minuted him on that. There we go. Okay, so.
Oh, sheepers.
This is the Burger King that exists in the Transformers universe.
I don't want to hear any arguments about perspective with this image.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It could be, but we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we get about this exists in this image and in text. There's one other image that was surfaced, and that was his concept art. So, like, Mike, if you want to bring out the second one, that's the full body. If you want,
That looks awesome, actually.
Oh yeah,
looks kind of sick.
Terrifying as all hell. And I specifically, I wrote this down because I want you to experience this. So basically, it was a promotion that happened to promote like War for Cybertron or something like that, or whatever, or Rise. I think it was Rise. Anyway, and it was like you had to like go to the website and you could use this thing to decrypt like Cybertonian text to then understand, and you got like chances to win shit, and then also they gave you the origin of the king, who is legitimately a Cybertonian. So after crashing to Earth in 1954, the king scanned a broiler for his alternate mode and became Burger King's flame-broiling culinary engineer. Despite having a conversation tech spec ranking of 0, he somehow revealed his burgering secrets to the Burger King scientist and stayed hidden on Earth for decades, waiting for the arrival of his fellow Transformers from Cybertron. So he was there first.
Is that like, if we did do a death battle, would we actually like canonically start the rundown with Cybertron and just treat that completely seriously?
It would be very fun to do that,
go.
absolutely. And then the last thing is it leads to the little hint of, it is possible that the king is the mastermind behind the barbecue double stackacon. But yeah, so that first image, like, same thing, right? It's like he could be potentially like humongous, and knowing he can like size manipulate and stuff, it's possible. But so I don't, anyway. So we don't need to do the perspective argument, but it's possible the king is also can be that large.
Just for a quick aside, because this will come up. If we're stopping at an establishment to eat, or either of you stopping at Burger King?
Okay.
I would definitely do Burger King over McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, once upon a time, Burger King, yes. Now, I haven't. It's been a while since I've enjoyed what they were offering.
I have a regular at Burger King.
Yeah.
Like, that's because it's the nearest fast food place to me. So if I want to get fast food, I always do Burger King.
I never get to go because April doesn't like Burger King. Like, she hates it, and I'm like, but I do like it. And
it's
like,
disgusting.
So Sam and I have gone through phases. Like, we had our like, you know, McDonald's double cheeseburger phase, but then there was a time, you remember, Sam, where we were like, yo, let's go hop in the car and get that fucking double cheeseburger at Burger King, because we were feeling it.
Yeah, I do remember this, but like, I feel like Burger King, like, once upon a time was good, but
it's fallen off a bit.
I don't feel like.
I think it's good now.
That said, if I got a chance to get a croissant sandwich easy enough, I'll probably go for it. That shit's good.
I don't think I can comment on either one. I genuinely cannot think of the last time I've eaten at either of those establishments. So
the double bacon king
all the goddamn time.
That one fucking
double bacon king. All right,
that one rocks my fucking socks off, because it's like substantial, you know. And I like it when it comes like a little squished. Yeah, wait, McDonald's is so nothing.
It's wafer thin. Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
exactly. But it's not my go-to fast food place. I don't know my go-to fast food places in New York. Because the places I like more, like Five Guys and Shake Shack, are like more expensive. They kind of don't fit.
They're so expensive. Last time I went to Five Guys, I was like, I'm never going again, because it was like $1 million for one meal, and I was like, no, thank you.
It feels like you ate $1 million worth of food, like not in terms of like quality necessarily, but in terms of quantity. That shit is so rich. I almost puke every time. Speaking of almost puking, Mike, could you bring up image Ronald 11, please? So Ronald McDonald can possess your body, and he did this to a Frenchman. So he like steps into. I've got the perfect frame. He steps into your body, and if you could bring up the next one, is it image 12? Yeah, could you bring up image 12 to follow up? Because this is what happens to this poor man. So he's possessed by Ronald, and he goes on wacky adventures. I stopped watching the commercial at this exact moment. I did not.
You mentioned
so I don't
he
know
was
what he does.
A Frenchman, Liam, was that pertinent? Like, why?
This is a French commercial. There are some. I went international. Yeah. And you can kind of tell that he's French, right? Like, I am not surprised. He looks like the guy from Leon the Professional. So yeah, it's terrifying. It's horrifying. Burger King not going to be able to do shit against that. Mike, could you bring up image 13? Well, because I mentioned it before. So. This is his robot friend.
Hey, Bernardo Hirsch. Thank you very much for the super.
Bernardo,
check this out.
robot. Gonna mess stuff up. Not as cool looking as the Cybertronian Burger
Yeah,
King.
what
to
did
be
we
fair.
ever see this robot do?
I don't remember.
Just
went
Is he
through so
making
much.
that, or does he just have possession of it?
He did invent the robot. He did build the
Yeah,
robot.
that's
Some of his
pretty
inventions are his, and some of them are stuff that he just has. He can conjure. I mean, he we're getting into it, but like he can conjure stuff into existence. Really anything you can think of. I get that like there's a limit to that, and we'll talk about the limit. But for the sake of anything on Earth, he can recreate that scale.
Ooh, and I've got some stuff to say to that too. But first, if you need a little help conjuring up something on your own, let me tell you about our first advertisement. Our first sponsor is Hims. This episode is sponsored by Hims. All right, look, it's time for some real talk. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of ED. Thankfully, Hims provides affordable access to ED treatments such as chewables, all online. Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing access to affordable and discreet sexual health treatments, all from the comfort of your couch. Hims provides access to clinically proven generic alternatives to Viagra and Cialis, up to 95% cheaper, with options as low as $2 per dose. Plus, there's a wide range of other treatment options, including new sex chews, as they're called. The process is simple and totally online, so you can avoid those uncomfortable doctor's visits. Just answer a questionnaire on the Hims website, and a medical provider will determine your treatment option. And it ships directly to you for free and in a discreet packaging. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, so if ED is getting you down, it's time to get back up. Start your free trial online. Visit today. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/cast. That's HIMS.com/cast for your personalized ED treatment options. HIMS.com/cast. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Prices vary based on product and subscription plan. Sex chews are compounded products and have not been approved by the FDA. The FDA does not verify the safety or efficacy of compounded drugs. There we go. Thank you, Hims. We appreciate the support.
Hey, just to catch us up a little bit, Alan Schlosser says the Burger King led a alien invasion that turned all of Earth's inhabitants into Simpsons characters, which combined with the Cybertronian thing is really breaking my brain.
Consistent that he's an alien. He looks like an alien. He looks like he's wearing human skin.
Although Gilded Data followed up with Ronald turned a rain cloud into the sun, which is kind of more impressive.
Yep.
Skipping ahead. I'm gonna get to the sun shit. We're gonna hold that off for now.
So it's funny, just a dumb little thing. I don't have an image for it, but more on the robot stuff. In an indeterminate time in the future, but far enough so that they're talking about like when people used to use forks and knives, and before they had like robots cleaning their house. So now we have that. They basically are talking about like whatever that like, and then like the Burger King 3000 comes in as a like fully roboticized like version of the Burger King and like delivers them something. So anyway, he apparently
what is this weird like fetish somebody
way
in
into the
Burger
future.
King headquarters has for science fiction, like a big Iron Man fan or something.
Yeah.
Let me just run through some of Ronald's powers, some of his miscellaneous abilities. He can stretch and squish his body any way he likes, which I feel is the way I always phrase Toon Force powers in Death Battle episodes. But specifically, Mike, this is going to be image once I find it. No, here it is. Yes, it's image 8. He can inflate himself like a balloon. It's terrifying. It's as bad as you thought
I don't like it. No,
I don't like it either.
There's a fraction of people on the internet that really went wild with that. I'm sure.
Ronald 4, where he actually stretches his body so far that he reaches out to the sun and turns it off for a nice snooze. This is Ronald 4. Yeah, look at that shit.
I mean,
two different kinds of.
That's hard to say that's our sun, though. Look
That
at that
is a-
thing.
yeah, what is that thing?
Some sort of sun,
It,
I guess.
it turns the sky off.
You know,
I
they
think
do
it's-
refer
I think
to in the early commercials McDonald land like it's a separate place.
There's some dimensional fuckery going on.
It's definitely a distance
Absolutely.
away. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, the resolution of that image is
Oh,
abysmal.
a lot of these are bad. Yeah.
Get ready to go because
Yeah.
these commercials were recorded on slabs of rock.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. A lot of the
Mesopotamian.
ones that I
back
found
then.
too. The thing is, like, a lot of stuff was was having like a lot of it was in GIFs, and we can't show GIFs because we don't
Yes,
have
exactly.
And like it was so frustrating, like for me to try and like they were so quick because like so much of Burger King stuff is just like poof magic.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
it was really hard to find a lot of frames. Real quick, just to catch up on it, we talked about the size manipulation. If you want to bring up size manipulation, like this is me showing off the skyscraper size, which is terrifying.
Hello there.
This is the King Kong.
Yeah, so
era.
he shows up, scares the hell out of this
Just
woman.
grabs her and splurches her against the wall.
Why is he? It looks like he's trying to dance with her. Is
They
that
are.
what's happening here?
So
Okay.
he first
But
he
what if he
scared
committed
her, and then she realized that he was friendly, and then he gave her the King Kong Whopper, and then it ended with them dancing together. But this was a good little reference for his size at this moment. Just wanted to show it since I grabbed it. Okay, so inflating and stretching, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
does Ronald have his own set of Iron Man armor?
Oh.
Will you bring up Iron Man King? Here's the best part. You know me, I'm a big Iron Man nerd. And so I looked at that and I was like, oh, hey, guess what? So glad it has the triangle reactor because the only suit that did that in the MCU is the Mark 6. So the Mark 6 Iron Man armor, of course, aside from like, the superhuman strength, durability, speed, flight, like all, Iron Man armor shit, it can absorb and convert energy. So like this is the stuff that like took on Whiplash's whips, which is not the biggest thing, but I mean they're pretty powerful. But it also this is the suit that took a full blast from Mjolnir's lightning, converted it to energy. This was a part of the promotion for one of the Iron Man movies. It would have been Iron Man 2.
I'm gonna count it because I'm so fucking like I was gonna like no, I had like a thing and I was like, oh no, they're gonna soft mommy on this one, but no. This makes it perfect. Perfect counter to the Iron Man armor. Mike, could you bring up Ronald
Man,
9,
he does
please?
get Burger King in the movies. That's right.
Yeah, they have that.
So
huge...
it's legitimate now.
Yeah.
The Iron Man armor is not going to stand up to shit with his fucking magnet arms. Which this little girl like wasn't even rude to him. He magnetically attracted like a bracelet or something out of the sand, and then she took it and like walked away. And then he went, "Buh!" This is another French commercial. He went, "Buh!" And then magnetized her braces like a freaking psychopath. So if he tries any Iron Man shit, he's coming right in. Yeah.
But even if he's up close and personal, I mean, that's prime Unibeam territory. He's also got he's got the 200 petawatt lasers in the
We don't want to talk about energy beams.
This is the one with the smart micro guns in the shoulders, that pop up and automatically shoot whatever.
We don't want to talk about energy beams here because Ronald McDonald has energy beams that come out of his mouth that do not disintegrate. They do not fry. They do not vaporize. Nothing like the lightning and electricity that you've talked about Iron Man absorbing. No. They unmake things out of existence.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm talking jump cut. Like he did this to Hamburglar's bike wheels. His Hamburglar was trying to make his escape in some fucking commercial from 100 years ago. And then he did it again to a plate of hamburgers that Hamburglar was taking. Completely unmade them, like jump cut unmake them. They're gone.
Okay.
So bring him in for the unmaking beam, and it's all ogre.
So the thing about Burger King's magic is it is that very hard to define like universal magic. You know what I mean? It's like the context sensitivity magic, right? Like I need this thing to happen. I need this thing to go away. I need this thing to be repaired. Like he just does shit. And seemingly like I have that with both food and then also like okay, I've got it with food, random objects, because so he's done like vinyls and stuff like that. He just needed them so to put into a jukebox, so he just like popped those up, right? And then he's also like summoned a fucking lion like out of nothing. So he seemingly can create whatever he wants at that moment. Also take things away, right? Like food will be there and he's like boop, gone, right? So similar thing, but it's magic, right? So it's like boom, puff of smoke, right? Or like yeah. So like this is one of the things that was like really difficult because like everything I've seen is just like they put him in so many different scenarios where he just magics shit, and it's like, what is the limit to this? Because he seems to be able to do whatever he wants.
This is a really good segue to like Endgame, but it's also only 428.
Okay.
/328. So I don't know if I want to jump into it, but
I
that's
mean,
that is exactly the way that
if you want to get to the end of the death battle,
might have been the end. I'm just like,
I mean,
this is the
if
stuff
you want
that
to jump ahead, go ahead.
No,
Let's go.
We got no, but there's
just-
y'all. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Billy.
Let me just pump the brakes a second. Kendra Rex 101, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Much appreciated.
Thanks,
That's,
Kendra.
folks that
All right,
got those.
So I just want to say really quick, I did find the commercial from tracking down your thing where it's not actually Burger King who's in the Iron Man suit, it's just a robot, but also the version I found first was called the director's cut, and he kills a man in it. It's a very good edit. It's super good. I'll let me get the link. I can post it in the chat because it's pretty funny. But
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, let's wait because like I
Okay.
did a lot of research and I want to go through a lot.
Yeah.
We can talk about
Let's-
some of the fun stuff.
Let's
So
talk about
here's-
stats. Let's talk about stats. Let's talk
Oh,
about
you wanna-
like physical feats.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you do whatever you want.
no, it's
If we're
okay.
going to talk about stats, Liam, Grumpo just said Ronald can professionally ball. Beat that, Chad. So, you know.
He can
Ronald can
probably in those
professionally ball.
5
Yeah.
respect Reds I looked through.
Hey, have you not seen the Burger King? He like won the Super Bowl
I
or
haven't.
whatever. They were looking at him as like rookie of the year and talking about
Cheating.
how he like
Biased.
transcends the rule of football. He's intercepted like stuff.
Transcends
like,
the rule of football. Somebody has death battle brain.
that was
It's just a
actually they
death
did a
battle
whole.
sounding.
It was like a 20-minute long sports cast.
Yeah.
Dude, Burger King has some of the best advertisements.
Oh,
like they go.
Oh, you want to get into a
ham.
football game? There is a commercial where Ronald McDonald is like watching a football game, and somebody kicks the football into the goal, and it's going to the goal, and Ronald McDonald, I guess, is like against that team or whatever. He goes, duh, and like snaps his fingers, and the ball stops in midair, and then like goes all the way back. I think it's telekinesis, but he does also have time rewinding powers as well. And what was very interesting is that there's another commercial where there is some sort of machine is going haywire that's like fucking with time. People are going backwards and forwards and stopping and stuff like that. And Ronald himself is completely immune. So Ronald has time manipulation,
outside of time. Okay.
And
but
he cannot be
himself
affected
is
by
outside
it.
of time. Yeah.
Bernardo Hirsch was asking about that earlier, Liam. So
Yes.
There you
He
go.
is unaffected by time manipulation. Whether
Got
that
it.
is because he is outside of time or moves immeasurably fast, I don't know. I probably would not say immeasurably.
Interesting. There was a GIF I wish I could show you where the Burger King in like this like 60s or 70s, he's just magic automating like everything inside of a Burger King. Like ketchup bottles are pouring shit for people. It's like there's like sweeping, and then he just starts flying and shit. I'm just like,
He has
what?
Ronald has tons of gadgets and vehicles and shit. The one that I picked out in terms of vehicles is the flying hamburger, which is a hamburger that flies and he kind of sits on the patty that sticks out as like a seat. But he also has like I think a World War II era bomber jet, like just for killing people.
because
I
why
guess.
not? Yeah.
He has a time machine. He has plenty of disguises. I think we're gonna get into stealth at some point. My favorite is actually a very, very early. This is like early design Ronald, where he looks like he's like carrying condiments and shit. He has an infinite burger belt, where he has a belt that if he just removes a burger, like another burger, like
Mhm.
pops into place, and he just can keep doing it.
Was that his
Infinite burger
original form with the cup for the nose and stuff like that?
Yes,
The very-
exactly.
yeah, the very
It's
first
original
one, yeah.
form. Yeah.
Dude,
Pre-crisis.
Well, let's see. Then Burger King uses his magic for that shit. Like that's the there. It is the most like some of those commercials are so unhinged. He's just like
Yeah.
walking around being like fries, burger, shake. Like he's just
yeah.
just constantly just blasting this stuff.
To be fair,
into
it might. I
existence.
don't know if it's the belt. Maybe they said it in the dialogue. It might have been his magic. I don't know if it was the belt or not. Sometimes Ronald has like a magic wand that he uses to like conjure stuff into existence. Other times he just does it himself. So I don't want to act like it's. I think it all basically stems from his magic.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're talking about him, Ronald, being really fast, right? Like possibly like moving so fast he's outside of time.
I was joking with that, but
okay. But
he is fast.
Here's the thing: it's very hard to clock Burger King's speed because I don't have any like direct speed feats because he can teleport. And that's what he does, like all
Yes.
the time. He teleports everywhere. He can teleport everyone around him to a Burger King. He can also create doors to any Burger King he wants. But he seems to have this weird, like, omniscience that he knows what's happening everywhere at any time, so
Burger
he can
King?
like appear in someone's house, in their bed, or like outside a window at the exact moment that person is opening the window to then hand them a
Oh
breakfast sandwich.
my! I would be
No.
so scared if Burger King just showed up here right now. Oh, I would be
Oh,
so
nice.
terrified. Ooh, Oh, Mr. Burger King.
My favorite one is there are kids doing a chalk drawing of him,
Yeah.
and then he popped out of the chalk drawing. The kids are like, ah! And then he, magics them food.
It seems like the Burger King's powers are kind of used for shock and horror more than McDonald's mascot here.
McDonald's is meant for joy, but I think like there's a certain kind of fear that you can generate unintentionally. I think that Ronald is so scary because it's never meant to terrify children, but he is a freaky clown monster guy who can ride a bicycle around the world in about 32 seconds. Mike, if you can bring up image Ronald 3, please. This image doesn't actually like show the feat because it requires motion. But basically, they had this commercial. It was like a wacky racist thing, and he gets in a race with those guys whose names I don't remember. Grimace and the Hamburger.
You said a
Mayor
wacky
McCheese, Grimace,
racist
Hamburglar, and I
was
can't
like,
see the other.
Yeah, what's the one in the bathtub one? And then it literally is just like, and they're off, and it's like, and now he's in Spain. Oh, and now he's in France, and it does like the cut thing. So I was like, oh, I don't know if the time frame can count, but the narration is in real time. They're just moving back and forth to these different locations like instantly. So really 32 seconds is not totally accurate because they'll like appear in Spain. There's a part where they're just like running around each other in like a town square, like not doing anything. And it's like, well, that doesn't count for part of that 32 seconds reasonably. But let's just say it's 32 seconds. Let's just say in total 32 seconds. Ronald makes it around the world in 32 seconds. That is Mach 1,160, 1,100 times faster than sound. And at the end, he actually like hits a rock and like flies off of it and lands, and like that's how he like crosses the finish line. So really, like we don't see him impact the ground, but this was a clown-sized human being hitting the ground at 1,000 times the speed of sound, and he did survive. We do see him afterwards.
Well, he could have slowed
that's
down.
like a fucking
he could have slowed down before he
meteor.
got to the end there.
A little bit back there, Santi Sherm had said that Ronald is an SCP, which yeah, that seems about right. Yeah,
he kind of is basically. That is what SCPs are like. Yeah.
Again, like King just teleports everywhere. So like
Ronald can teleport. Teleport isn't speed, Chad.
No, I know
you know
that.
this.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's just like he's never been shown in any media to show off how fast he is, which is what sucks.
Okay.
Because he just teleports everywhere. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
Chad, give me a gauge here, because Jonathan Avery was asking, who do you think wins between the Burger King and Captain Crunch?
Hey, Captain Crunch hid from God. Like I can't.
Sure.
Anyway,
I did post a random photo of the Burger King and Darth Vader just hanging out together. I've just been going through commercials
That's
here
scaling.
on the side.
I actually I remember this campaign. It was everywhere.
It's a pretty good commercial. There's also one with the M&Ms that I watched where the red M&M gets force choked and dies, which is pretty crazy to happen in a commercial.
And that's the thing. It's a perfect transition, Sam, for me to talk about some of the commercials that I found when it comes to Burger King, because Burger King absolutely has the superior commercials. Like
I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Yeah, for sure. Let me tell you about some of the stuff that Burger King has done. So they did I believe it was like South Asia. They did an ad called "Burn That Ad," and they launched an AR app that let users burn McDonald's and other rival advertisements ads in the app, and then they would get a free Whopper. Mike, will you bring up burn ad? So you would fire up this AR app and burn the competition and get a free Whopper for it. When the remake of It was going around, Burger King hijacked some of the film reels, and at the very end, right before credits roll, a screen comes up and it says, "The moral is never trust a clown." And then the Burger King logo shows up as the credits roll, which is just absolutely incredible. Obviously, my favorite commercial, which is him breaking into the McDonald's headquarters and stealing the McMuffin recipe. Absolutely.
I think that the sort of like, yeah, I think that does segue me into something talking about like the different mediums they're in. Ronald is special in that he can enter any medium he wants. He can dimension hop into paintings, into storybooks, video games, and movies. He can also take people in and presumably leave them there. He did not leave the children in there when he took them out. But like children can't escape, can't enter and exit higher dimensional space. He's going to leave Burger King in there. And guess what? What if it isn't like some nice, happy, like McDonald's Fun Time Land? What if he's like, I'm going to take Burger King to fucking Human Centipede, and I'm going to leave him in the universe of Human Centipede, which is probably mostly just like our universe.
I don't even want to picture the Burger King in that scenario.
Yeah,
but I will say
no one
Burger King
does.
could absolutely
he.
get out of that. He has the ability to teleport himself to any Burger King that he can teleport anywhere, but specifically he is tied to all of the Burger Kings as well, and has 2 different ways. He can create a door, actually 3. He can create a door, he can just teleport himself, or he has a ring, and if he just twists his ring, he instantly goes to the nearest Burger King. So he would absolutely get out of that for sure.
I don't think this dimension. I don't know about that. That's like a different kind of teleportation. But you know what? We'll give it to you.
Do you think that it's the existence of the Burger King that allows him to do it, or could he teleport into it after the Burger King's closed business for some reason? You know, like is the building the waypoint? Is the question I'm asking here?
Because if he takes him,
like,
if he takes
is he
him
setting
into,
a waypoint, or is it just because it's Burger King?
Oh, it's like he has like a natural like
affinity
mana,
for it. Yeah,
affinity towards the Well,
again, we've seen him teleport way like all over places. Like he's showed up like outside of Burger King's and just in the real world and stuff. So he can teleport wherever he wants. But yeah, specifically like the ring.
He's got a stronger connection.
Yeah, the ring will take him and anybody around him that he chooses to the nearest Burger King. It's just
interested to see if it was like a different if he could like travel the multiverses Burger Kings, right? Because if you bring him into the Human Centipede, then he's going to can teleport between the Burger Kings that exist within the Human Centipede verse, which is just basically our Earth, I believe. I haven't seen the movie. Maybe it's like a weird.
I hope it's not our Earth.
Yeah,
well, it's our Earth except for the Human Centipede.
We're gonna get very hypothetical at that. Here, let me tell you about another thing that I found, and I just wanted to share this. Burger King has had a long time deal of like they get the SpongeBob toys. Okay, I watched every single SpongeBob commercial trying to hopefully scale him to SpongeBob. Unfortunately, he only appears in one SpongeBob commercial, and that is when, for some reason, they decided to do a parody song of Baby Got Back in its entirety, where the king is the star of the music video, and it's all about square butts for SpongeBob. Mike, will you bring up square butts?
Yeah,
he is.
I got me one of those.
Dancing around, all the girls are dancing all about him. And I'm like, okay,
this seems like a good moment to bring up the ad I just posted for Mike as well with the BK Super 7-incher, which is got to be one of the most absolutely unhinged ads.
Oh my god!
We'll give Mike a second to bring it up.
I thought I just had a dirty mind.
Monetized!
They're unhinged.
Oh, they are
they're unhinged.
One of the SpongeBob commercials, like the dad's in the bath and the mom's in the bathroom like cleaning something, and the kids like run in and like, can we go to Burger King? Like just as soon as your father's finished, and he puts the sponge on his head and then stands up and just looks at his wife and he's like, hey, who am I? She's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm SpongeBob No Pants. And then I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like they what's up?
Does that image that Sam shared, unfortunately, the detriment of my like soul, does that like imply or perhaps outright confirm that Burger King has a burger dick?
No,
like
Liam,
it's a burger.
It does not. No.
There's implications you're taking here that I hope are not the case.
Yeah. Think about it. Think about it long and hard.
Well, now that you put it in my head, thanks a lot, Liam.
Well, hey, you know what? Something else you can think about. It's a lot better than that being in your mind is our next sponsor, which is the Avatar podcast. Thank you for saving us. Because this episode is sponsored by Avatar Braving the Elements. Yes, this is Nickelodeon's official companion podcast to Avatar The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. If you haven't heard of this before, it's been around for a while. They've been going through every episode of the original cartoons with a fresh perspective from the people behind the show. Each week, hosts Janet Varney and Dante Bosco rewatch every episode of The Last Airbender. If you don't recognize those names, they're the voices of Korra and Zuko. And also, Dante has always been like a super good friend of the company. They're joined by special guests like cast, super fans, and even the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender for a deep dive and behind-the-scenes look into the Avatar verse you can't get anywhere else. Obviously, we're all big fans of Avatar here at Death Battle, and we've had plenty of Avatar characters on episodes before. And who could forget the classic Aang versus Captain Planet debate, which I still really, really, really want to do. You'll find the same kind of fun energy on Braving the Elements. So listen to Avatar: Braving the Elements on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Go check them out. Avatar: Braving the Elements. You will enjoy it. All right. Where were we?
Ronald McDonald can warp reality. We're in
Okay.
the 40s now. I'm going to turn up the heat. He
Yeah,
once
yeah.
turned night to day by pulling on the sky like a curtain.
Wonderful.
As I think it was Bernardo, perhaps, or somebody mentioned earlier, he sculpted a cloud into the sun and put it into the sky. He can materialize any McDonald's food into existence, much like the Burger King we've covered with him, but he can also do other objects. A magic top hat, which can carry, tons of different things, a candelabra, some snow, an oversized baseball bat that he kind of pulled out, a boat, a McDonald's restaurant on the moon, all the stars in the night sky, some butterflies, normal stuff like that. Mike, if you could bring up image 1 and then 2. So there were no stars in the night sky. It was devoid. And Ronald went, I'll fix that. And he sent a little beam and a little pea ball into the sky. Just whoosh. And then image 2 happens. And then the Big Bang. And the sky is filled with stars. I actually looked up how many stars you can visibly see in the night sky. The implication is that he is doing all the stars in the universe, but let's just say he's doing the ones that we can see. That is 9,096 stars, which we can see from Earth. That's a lot of energy. If he was to throw that little pea ball at Burger King would be unmade. On top of that, though, it's a great speed feat because it sends all the stars into place. The farthest star that we can see in the night sky, so the farthest star there, within that sort of that conservative range I'm talking about, is about 28 billion light years away, assuming it takes about 5 seconds, which is how long that segment is in the commercial. That is 176,601,600 times the speed of light.
Got that Barbie feet.
So speed
you
blitz.
found.
He can also do some lesser insane stuff, but still quite insane. There was an episode, this is image 5 or Ronald 5, where these aliens come and start to like suck up they sniff that great fucking French fry smell from outer orbit. They start to like suck up all of the food out of McDonald's, where Ronald goes, I've got you bastards, and takes a straw and starts to suck all of it back. These are objects that are in orbit by now, and he is re-sucking them back.
He re-release them afterward?
No, he's taking them back to give to the children who have paid with their parents'
Which implies
money.
that he is, exhaling it from his lungs, which
have
an immense capacity. Exactly.
I wonder how he could take on the 7-inch Burger King sandwich that we talked about earlier.
So there's a lot of sucking going on this week.
Ronald 6, Mike. This one is actually impossible to tell what's going on because of the quality. But an asteroid was coming to Earth, or maybe a meteor. I don't know how would you describe it based on its size. Was coming to Earth, and Ronald bats it away back into space. You can just barely tell that I am not lying. That is what is happening. He was also able to.
Can we tell?
Can you tell? Yeah, that's the asteroid in like the
series
center of the screen.
Yeah, like shapes and colors.
Frames.
Is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's Ronald down there in the white, the bright white kind of like outline. How you would depict an angel, really, entering 3-dimensional space. And then image 7, Mike. This is just Ronald, just to add consistency. He does create stars and the moon on his own. He just generates them. out of like little. He has like a little wand, but he created the
But
wand.
that might be
to do that.
McDonald's land or whatever. Because they all
that right there is
same with the
not
other
Earth.
weird little sun. Like I'm giving you the ones you have, like the stars one for
I'm
sure.
gonna
but,
say
like,
Yeah,
though, like,
what are you gonna
even if
fight
it's-
me on
even
this?
if it's a smaller universe, like
Yeah.
it's still clearly a distance away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it may not be as impressive as our universe.
I mean,
That's in the sky, you know.
Yeah, the doing our stars one is pretty
What are you
significant.
afraid
I'd
to
say.
fight
But if
me
it's
on
like
this?
a King Kai-sized planet or something like that, it's still pretty
Yeah.
far away.
And I think
Yeah.
that I only have one image left. We actually did go through all of them somehow. Well, except for one that was just unnecessary because of the Iron Man armor thing.
No, agreed.
But
Thanks for the super chat. I'm sorry that I forgot the Apple cult. It's been a long couple months.
this is Ronald 14, Mike, and this is really important for countering Burger King's stealth. His incredible stealthing ability.
yes, he was very sneaky.
They have an eyeball machine, which they used in this horrible hell dimension, this infinite void that they were in, to find I think it was Ben 10 and Hello Kitty Happy Meal toys. They just searched them out. So he would be able to use this machine along with the magnet, because Burger King, even without the armor, has like the crown and the bling on him. He would be able to use that and the eyeball machine in conjunction to counter any stealth that the Burger King has. He'd be able to find him like that, and then just fuck his shit all.
Even if the Burger King is existing as his shadow, like only as his shadow.
His shadow, Ronald's shadow, would then beat up the Burger King's shadow
But it
because
can
his
still
shadow
fight
is
too.
sentient.
Anyway,
Do we have? I mean, the Burger King game, the Sneak King, it has a lot of stuff in it about sneaking. Would he not be able to counter anything based on the stuff he's got there?
You could search
Chad?
him. You could search him out.
'Cause
Well,
Riley Dilworth
no,
mentioned it's
so,
like,
like-
Metal Gear BK. So
Yeah, no, sneaking those like honestly, I don't have anything from it because it's not like it's just bad examples. Like it's him he's goofing around in sneaking
Yeah, yeah.
basically. Like he's literally like tiptoeing the whole time, and so like people can see him because he is just like if you don't go up behind them right, they'll see you and be like, hey, you know. But he's much more stealthy than that if he wants to be. He's just playing around in the sneaking game. So here's the thing. So Ronald, can seen his body stretch and inflate and like do all that kind of stuff. But like,
Create a big
has
bang.
Ronald ever been turned into something and been able to revert to his normal form?
I mean, we always see him back in this normal form, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking
gonna
about
say-
like if something specifically has happened to him to turn him into something. Like, does he have the ability to return to himself?
he can change his shape. Yes. He can change his shape into like McDonald's food and then change. He can
Do you have any examples of that?
fucking-
I'm just curious. I just know. Like, do you know of a
I'm
specific
gonna
time?
ring my
like, a
balls on this one.
Real quick, mega lazy guy. Thank you for the
Yes.
$5. Also said, does Ronald get the apple pie that is hotter than the sun? That's a good question.
I think it's an excellent.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah,
He turned
'cause-
himself into Lego blocks. Himself back.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because Burger King has the ability to turn anyone into whatever, like food or whatever. So like, and usually, so they have this awful mascot called the Duke of Doubt.
He can crunchitize them.
Yeah, basically, that's pretty much what we're getting here with this one. But like,
yeah.
the Duke of Doubt, his whole thing is that he doubts that the king could actually be using real magic, and in every commercial, it's the king proving this guy wrong and that he does have actual magic. And so in one of them, the Duke of Doubt's just like, well, fine, make me a shake. And he's like, you're a shake. And he turns him into a giant milkshake. So he does have the power to affect others. So much so he can bestow powers on other people. Another scenario, Duke of Doubt was like messing with this kid. And so you see that I love this. I wish I could show you this gift. It's like the Duke of Doubt and this kid right here. And in the background, you just see Ronald. You see the Burger King just go. And then the kid, like he's behind the kid in the distance, and then the kid just goes, ha, and like throws his clothes up, and then like he's in a superhero outfit, and then the kid just like superhero flies away. So he can turn people into superheroes, at least with the ability of flight.
So he's gonna throw an army of superpowered children at Ronald McDonald.
He
that's what
could
he's gonna do?
absolutely do that. He can
Ronald's gonna be
superpower
ripping
things
their
all
fucking heads off and like drinking their blood.
It would make for a sick fight. One thing that we didn't touch on, he's also has the power of complete seduction, thanks to, weirdly enough, and like when I first saw this, I was like, why is he this? Will you bring up Klingon King?
Oh no.
So for some reason,
Oh my god.
to promote
Yeah.
Star Trek, he has a Klingon version of himself where he can play a Klingon song that will seduce anyone.
Again, the alien stuff. What is it?
I mean, it makes
What
sense.
is
It
the
makes sense
alien-
because Burger King is better in the original Klingon. Yeah, it makes sense.
Wow.
But here's the thing: we're gonna have to start reading and wrapping up. Reading the response from you guys and getting to the vote and all that stuff. But there's one thing that I really want to talk about. All right, and that is, you look at Ronald McDonald, and you go, I mean, you have whatever you feel about clowns, but you're like, Ronald's supposed to be a good guy, just have a big heart, like this is, all about, helping the kids and all that fun stuff. Well, Ronald has no heart. And that is because, while the king has had no problem throwing shade at McDonald's and, and everything like that with their advertisements and dunking on them wherever they can. In honor of World Peace Day, Burger King extended an olive branch and reached out to McDonald's and asked them to team up to create the McWhopper, where they would set up pop-up stores and all sales would be donated to charity. Now think of that impact of that. Everybody would want to go and try a McWhopper, right? McDonald's turned the offer down. And now you might say, hey, well, Ronald, has, the Ronald McDonald House charity. Well, guess what? Actually, there's a lot of controversy around that. You see a 30-page report by the Corporate Accountability International and the Small Planet Fund.
This is a good strategy.
Accused McDonald's of using the charity as a marketing campaign to increase their profits. And then looking at McDonald's own contributions to the charity don't even come close to the amount of profitability that they see because of it. So, you have it there.
That's the least surprising thing I've ever heard, though.
September 2nd, 2022, 9 Burger Kings in South Carolina broke child labor laws by letting 14 and 15-year-olds work for too long, Department of Labor says.
Were they franchises? If we're going to get like individual stores, then I'm sure we'll find some McDonald's shit. You don't want to open that rabbit hole.
Sorry if I'm getting audio, by the way, they just started gardening out my window, which is great. Jonathan Avery really wants to know, though, can the Burger King survive a Grimace shake? I think that's a good question.
I was wondering if that would get brought up. He
I
could
forgot about
transmute
the
it
Grimace
into whatever he wanted. You know what
It's
happened?
just his shake.
If Burger King was handed a Grimace shake, he would literally just go and turn it into a McDonald's or to a Burger King
Burger
shake.
King shake, yeah.
Instantly.
Although I will say, I don't think any Burger King shake can come close to a McFlurry.
Yeah, if the ice cream machine's not broken.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
always is,
That's a good
unfortunately.
point.
Yeah, I specifically did not bring up ice cream for this exact reason.
Because there's no winning that. Yeah.
I believe Ronald could fix them if he was going to go to the restaurant, but he apparently
Ronald
can't just
is
teleport-
a petty callous god. The reason that they did not team up with Burger King to do this Whopper shit is because you do not parlay with your lessers. And McDonald's
to help children.
I think it was Dude Blade accident way back at the start after your intro, Chad, that the jester is
So
the
many
only person in the
different
court that can
responses.
make fun of the king.
No,
Yeah.
Burger King is neither of these. Fast food in general is not helping children. We know this. It is bad for children. It's bad for all people.
Terrible.
But it was gonna get donated to a World Peace Foundation. McDonald's turned down world peace.
I don't think you can trust a fucking monarch dressed in all of that gold. Sure, the king says that that's where the money's gonna go, but it's gonna go to his pile of fucking loot and very mid onion rings. I am so sick and tired of people saying that I like Burger King. I like it more than McDonald's. I'll defend it. Those onion rings are mid. They're mid as fuck.
I remember. Okay, see, I remember them being quite good.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
They're so not. They're actually bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There was a weird knocking. But
I was hitting.
Okay, you were. Okay, yeah.
All right, we gotta get to the community answers. So.
Okay, yeah.
In summary, yes, Ronald McDonald is incredibly powerful and has created on the level of creating stars, but with Burger King's magic, which we have seemingly unlimitless, the ability to be intangible. He can turn people to things. He can magic whatever he needs at any given moment. And then again, Burger King is for world peace and willing to put down the rivalry to help children and world peace, and McDonald's isn't. So that's where I rest after we
The strategy of second place. clawing your way to first.
All right, let's bring up the
I
answers.
hate
Billy,
it.
you want to read these?
Maybe Sam would be a better choice, given that they want to tear down every tree in my neighborhood here.
Yeah, I can say that I'm gonna vote for.
No, you have to
Ronald.
read the thing.
You have to read the thing.
Okay, sorry. The King. I got distracted. I'm still watching these fucking crazy Burger King commercials.
All right,
The
from Doug, the
commercials
king can
are
grow to the
buck
size of
wild.
King Kong, has a magic ring that lets him teleport, has his own Iron Man armor, and once became real from a drawing. Okay, so he can definitely get out of the interdimensional stuff. I didn't come from that one. Oh, no, that's the chalk stuff. Yeah. He also successfully broke into McDonald's HQ completely unnoticed, meaning he's canonically too sneaky for Ronald. Ronald should McFlurry out of here while he still has his McNuggets on him. Great answer.
Yeah, it's like
Love that.
it's like there's
Okay,
balls.
let's get to this next one so I can prove that I can read. All right, Ronald turned a cloud into the sun. yeah, easily lifting and moving it around afterwards, and threw a literal galaxy into the sky to fill the night with stars effortlessly. You can also rewind time, undoing anything the king could ever possibly do with his stealth. Has numerous ways to transmute others, as well as numerous ways of messing with the bounds of reality, entering in existing forms of fiction and the likes. The king is toast.
All right, I'm making the
I
poll.
feel
right
like
now.
maybe you could have said the king is flame broiled, but
Yeah.
besides that,
I
good
mean,
answer.
Hostess.
It comes to you in the moment or it doesn't.
a lot
Yeah.
of on the verge puns. This
Eater of Bones mentioned, that ad with the Burger King standing face to face with Vader. It kind of implies they're equal in power.
Yeah?
yeah, it kind
the
of
eater just
implies
said,
that.
yeah.
Liam's not
Yeah.
All right,
I-
poll is up.
I still know where I am. I think everybody knows where I am, but Burger King is unhinged, and if I was gonna go eat at either one right now, it would certainly be Burger King.
I do want Burger King right now.
Maybe
I just want to
it's
tell you,
just
like, I
because
really want to go.
indoctrinated myself with like 20 years of their ads, but I would love a BK right
So
now.
hungry. Wait, are you
Okay, so
voting for
Sam's
Burger
voting
King?
BK. Or sorry, Sam's
No,
voting.
I'm voting McDonald's, but
Okay, good.
begrudgingly.
All right. So Sam's going Ronald McDonald. Billy, how you feeling?
The Burger King is something of a sleep paralysis demon of an entity, like a dread horror that stalks and terrifies, feeding on startling despair. But Ronald is kind of like a terrifying force. He's like an eldritch horror that is hiding an unparalleled power, masquerading as a family-oriented, kid-friendly clown, here to help bring you toys and food. I think I'm going Ronald.
Oh
my
God.
Oh my God, no! Oh no! No!
Oh, the original is terrifying.
That one. That's
The
the Burger
Coke
That's
Belt.
the Genesis. That's the first intrusion into our reality right there. He learned to hide it a bit better as time
Look
went
at
on,
those
but
fries.
God.
What a world.
was
He's
just
the Chiquita banana girl of fast food.
We're gonna talk about the I just remembered this. Thank you, person that posted this in Discord. How could I have forgotten this? On March 8th of 2021, Burger King's, I think it was their UK Twitter account, entered Twitter immortality when they tweeted out "Women belong in the kitchen" and then left it there,
Oh,
and then followed up with the tweet, which was like, "Oh, actually, it's we
Hey,
made a
that's
joke."
not
Hey,
good. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you didn't think I'd have a counter to that. I know we're a little over time, but I've got the perfect. Okay, you want to actually know what Burger King has done to empower women? So in China, there is
After
still.
that, I'd hope a lot.
No, listen. In China, there is still like a very like gender discrepancy between like like men and
Yeah.
women. And so what they did was they ran the Burger Queen campaign, where they interviewed a bunch of Chinese women, and they asked them all these questions about like what would make the best like Burger Queen and stuff like that, and all this stuff, and then invited a lot of them to come to the Burger King store where they would reveal the Burger Queen, gave them all meal boxes and said, okay, the reveal's about to begin. And then when they opened it up, it had their food, but also a mirror inside, because they were all the Burger Queen.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Vomit.
but
And highlighting
that's
the gender discrepancy in the country.
That's,
So
that's
hey. they've done some good stuff.
like that's cute, yeah, but I don't know I don't know if that's like has the same reach of Burger King just tweeting
I was
women
gonna say,
belong in
I
the
was gonna do
kitchen,
like a-
which is
I was
buck
gonna do a
wild.
prank.
That was Burger King UK,
Yeah.
though.
Anyways, should
Anyway,
we just
all
do
right.
the poll?
Yeah, well, first we got to see the results from the initial because we should have done that before, but it's okay. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
see. What was the initial predictions? Was at 76% Ronald. All right. So we got not looking great for me, but that, I mean, I can't possibly win. But hey, let's see what the chat
The
poll
Burger King
ended
maybe
up
can
as.
transmute it into your vote into something you wanted, right? No.
It is. Yeah, I will just spoil it. It is 60-40 in favor of Ronald
you
McDonald.
tilted
Hey,
somewhat.
I swayed some
Yeah.
people, and we all
You
know
swayed
that
some people.
Burger King got the moral victory. So
Did I?
Oh,
Did I sweep
absolutely.
last 2 times as well?
Yes!
Did I sweep?
yeah.
This is my 3rd sweep in a. Did
Liam,
I
just
sweep a
sweep him
sweep?
out the door.
Mm-hmm.
This is
not
my
even
rank
this-
before. What the fuck?
This fight really put me in the
Nice.
mind of the old Ronald versus Colonel Sanders DBX that I think was Liam's.
Yeah,
or not,
dude.
Luis's
did,
first.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite
The Colonel was in DC, so he has some. I think he has some feats in scaling that would actually make it competitive.
Mega
Um,
Lay's. There's a BK
three-way.
sandwich that's just 12 pieces of cheese, no meat. God, no, I don't know. That's weird.
I was gonna ask if Subway had a mascot, and then I remembered that they do.
Yeah.
No.
That's a toughie.
And with that, it's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for coming, for tuning in. We appreciate y'all so much. I did my best. I found some fun lore on the Burger King. I knew
Good job.
Ronald
I
was
love it.
crazy. So hope you guys had fun. Tune in to the champion cast later if you guys are champions. So thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.